good, man. I'm ready, man. I'm ready. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso absolutely delivered tonight, man. Exactly how I said it should be. It was done. It shall be done. Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, and Jeff Hardy gave you one of the best ladder matches that WWE has put on in recent memory. P.S. Sami Zayn is fucking incredible. And everything else in between was absolutely Raw and Smackdown-esque. But man, oh man, Roman Reigns is a heel. And for the last 5 years, all it does is prove one thing, that this is the best fucking show in the IWC, because I was right. This is your Off the Script post show for Clash of Champions. Strap yourselves in. It's gonna be a good one. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Off the Script post show right here for your Clash of Champions Sunday. I am, of course, JD from New York, man. Thank you guys so very much for joining me as always. Oh, man. You know, I don't want to come off as a Roman Reigns fanatic. I'm not even a Roman Reigns fan. I just love to show everybody how right I was, man. For 5 years, I've been preaching, I've been pushing, I've been ranting, I've been complaining, I've been saying, this is how it needs to be done. Why aren't they doing the most logical thing when it comes to Roman Reigns? They did not realize that if you turn this man into what I have been saying he should be, which is somewhat what we're seeing right now. If you turn this man and have him walk towards the dark side, then things would be better. WWE will get Roman Reigns to where they want him to be as a company. They didn't realize that. They pushed and pushed and pushed as a babyface, and all it did was drive the fans away from Roman Reigns. It drove the fans away from WWE because they came off desperate. They came off as if they knew everything, and in this instance, they didn't know anything. They had a legit top guy in the palm of their hand, and they did not know how to utilize him. They did not know how to tap that potential. And now we're looking at Clash of Champions tonight. And after this match with Jey Uso, man, all I did watching this match, I did not even look down at my notes. I watched. I watched how he moved. I watched how he acted. I watched exactly what this match should have been. I was hoping that this match was as calculated and heel-like as it should have been. I didn't want it to be a squash. In no way should it have been a squash. They did an absolutely masterful job with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso tonight. I don't know who. I hope we find out. Genuinely, I hope we find out who was in charge of putting this match together, man. But if this is the mastermind of Paul Heyman, holy shit, man. This was absolutely brilliant storytelling at the end of Clash of Champions. Roman Reigns for 5 years has been an absolute failure in every sense of the word, creatively. The guy has everything you need in a superstar to be the head of this company. And now he is. Why? Because WWE finally is using him the right way. For 5 years, I have said everything and pushed. I was the fucking scapegoat of the community as far as pushing Roman Reigns for heel, when everybody was like, oh, JD's nothing more than a complainer, he's a cancer, he's this and that. I pushed and I pushed and I pushed, and I explained to people, this is how it needs to be. For what reasons? Nobody wanted to listen. I was the driving force in the community for this very push for Roman Reigns to be a heel. And everything I see right now happening, materializing right before our very eyes, it does one thing, man. It proves for the last 5 years that I was right. And everything I've done on this podcast, everything that I've done on a week-to-week basis when it comes to Roman Reigns is now justified. I love it. I love it. I love it. What a great main event, man. Holy shit. That ladder match with Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, and Jeff Hardy. You know, I'm not too big on ladder matches nowadays because WWE seems to just run them through the formulaic machine. But holy shit, man, they made Sami Zayn look like an absolute mastermind in that match. What a goddamn genius Sami Zayn is. Jeff Hardy did great. AJ Styles did great, but Sami Zayn came out on top. And that ended up being one of the best ladder matches in recent memory that WWE has ever produced, man. Holy shit. That opened the show. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso closed the show. Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre for the WWE title in an ambulance match. Overbooked. A lot of people were wondering what was going to be the main event of the show. They made the right decision. Just based on how everything was booked, they made the right decision. Everything else outside of those two matches, the one that opened the show and the one that closed the show, everything that was in between, WWE got the bread right. They got the top portion of the bread right. They got the bottom portion of the bread right. But the meat in this sandwich was not very good at all. Not very good at all. Questionable booking decisions. Rinse and repeat matches that you could have easily watched on Monday Night Raw. Outside of the last match and the opening match, Clash of Champions was an absolute waste of time. But going on how great those two matches were, I'm going to give it a thumbs up show. I'm going to give it a thumbs up show. Just because of the quality of what we've seen in the open and in the end. And we're going to talk about it all right here on Off the Script, man. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on the podcast. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. That is on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. I would appreciate if you guys subscribe. We are here weekly, every single week. We never miss a beat. Right here on the channel, man. If you guys want unfiltered, unadulterated opinion on the WWE product that will never sugarcoat, that will never steer you in a shill-like direction like Wrestle Geeks or any of these other clowns in the community, then you found the right podcast. You found the right YouTube channel, man. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below and turn on the bell for all notifications. If you missed anything on the channel, there's a ton of content, Monday Night Raw, AEW, NXT, an Off the Script extra with some leftover news and rumors for the week. And we did Off the Script episode 344 this Saturday, talking about the terrible week that was WWE, Monday Night Raw, Smackdown, Retribution, and their terrible presentation on Monday night. And Clash of Champions. Make sure you guys go and check that out. Link is down below in the description of this very video. If you want to support the podcast, there is a variety of ways to do that. Number one, Patreon, patreon.com/JD from NY206. So if you guys want to do that, never an obligation. It's always there if you guys want to support. Number two, mouthmasker.com is the exclusive home of the new black off-the-script masks. Go and get your face coverings, man. Mouthmasker.com/OTS. If you guys want to go and get a t-shirt, you can certainly do that. Bonfire.com is the exclusive home of the off-the-script shop. Tons of designs on there. Go and pick one up today. Available now on Bonfire. That is bonfire.com. Link is down in the description of this very video. And if you guys want to go out and directly support the show, you can always do so by supporting my sponsor for tonight's show, man. Harry's.com/scripts. And we'll talk about Harry's a little bit later, man. They got some new, sharpest ever blades. And you guys can get one of their new blades, a razor handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for free. That is harrys.com/script. All you guys got to do is pay the shipping and handling. And I want to thank them for always being a great partner right here on Off the Script. Let's get into the review, man. Oh, by the way, also, Super Chats are open. I will be taking Super Chats as I see some of them coming in right now. Thank you guys very much for the early Super Chats. If you want to get them in, we'll be hanging out, as always, at the end of the show, man. My personal VIP lounge. And this ain't no MVP VIP lounge. This is JD's Elite VIP lounge. So get your Super Chats in, as we will take care of them at the end of the show. Big news before we even get into the review of the pay-per-view tonight. There were several wrestlers that were pulled from tonight's WWE Clash of Champions pay-per-view post-wrestling. And John Pollock was reporting that SmackDown has their Women's Championship match taken off the show. This was before Clash of Champions, by the way. That Bayley and Nikki Cross would not be happening on the show tonight. Apparently, as of 48 hours ago, WWE was still not sure if Nikki Cross would be available tonight because Bayley was promoting the show on Friday night and the SmackDown Women's Championship match. And she did so also on Talking Smack that aired on Saturday morning. Now, John Pollock reports that a replacement for Cross will and was announced. We didn't know who that was going to be. But another match that was affected tonight, not only the SmackDown Women's Championship, but we got the Women's Tag Team Championship off the show as well tonight. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax did not defend the Women's Tag Team titles against Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan. That match was completely off the show. And WWE is not saying why these changes needed to be made before Clash of Champions tonight, but it is expected that the situation with both of these matches will be addressed in some form moving forward. It was not mentioned tonight. I don't know if it's going to be mentioned on Monday Night Raw tomorrow. I don't want to assume anything, but obviously with three individuals off the show tonight that were both in championship matches, we have to assume that it's COVID-related. Otherwise, what would it be? Really, what would it be? Nobody was injured. So WWE had a little outbreak of COVID. AEW had the same thing. So these women were probably infected along with everybody else that was infected. And WWE did the right thing. And they took them off the show. And quite honestly, it doesn't even matter if these matches didn't take place tonight. Bayley versus Nikki Cross was an absolute waste of a match to begin with. Nikki Cross was not winning the SmackDown Championship. So it really doesn't matter if she was on the show or off the show. The match was only made out of sheer desperation because WWE needed the SmackDown Women's Championship to be defended because all championships need to be defended at the Clash of the Champions pay-per-view. Nikki Cross didn't really even deserve a championship match. She went through Bayley all summer and lost every single match that she had with Bayley for the title. And the only reason why she was there was because it probably made sense as far as the finish goes that Alexa Bliss cost her the match because she's turning into this different character as far as being manipulated by the Fiend. Maybe that was going to be their out here. And the only reason why Nikki Cross was in this match to begin with as well, outside of that, was because Lacey Evans, Tamina, and anybody else on that roster didn't make sense. The two big women on that show are Bayley and Sasha Banks, and nobody else legitimately made any sense whatsoever. They had an out in Nikki Cross because of Alexa Bliss. Nikki Cross was never going to win that championship, should never have even been in discussion to win that championship, because that is for Sasha and Bayley. Otherwise, what are we doing? Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus the Riot Squad. I don't know anybody in this chat that actually gave a shit about that match going into tonight's show. In fact, both of these matches not taking place on the show did good because it shortened the pay-per-view, which means I can come on here a little bit earlier and actually finish a little bit earlier than I would usually finish. So I'm glad that these matches didn't happen, but in some way, shape, or form, I'm sure we'll see these matches happen on SmackDown moving forward. And the decisions on these outcomes probably will not be any different at all. It probably would have been the same no matter if it happened here or on SmackDown in a couple of weeks. So it really doesn't matter. Now, also, as you guys noticed, the main event of the show was Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. That was the main event, and rightfully so. Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship was actually the match that took place before the Universal Championship match. You could swing for either match to close the show and main event, but I know as far as everything else goes, number one, the WWE always looks at the Universal Championship as their biggest championship. Now, I know it's not, but that's what WWE looks at. The WWE Championship is their biggest championship, just based on the lineage and the history, but in WWE's eyes, it all goes to who is holding said championship. If Roman Reigns was holding the WWE Championship, that would be the most important championship in the company. Now that Roman Reigns is holding the Universal Championship, that is their most important championship in the company. It's not even based on that. It just goes to show you that WWE can get things right when they want to. This match with Jey Uso and Roman Reigns always should have been the main event. Why? Because it's the best story in WWE. Why did this main event? Because if you look at these two matches before the show actually hit the air, and you're planning things out, and you're planning the endings for this match, you're going to look at the endings of both of these matches and think to yourself, which one looks better on TV as far as an ending for this pay-per-view? You're going to look at what they did with Jey Uso and Roman Reigns, and then you're going to look at Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre in the ambulance match. Which one would send the pay-per-view off the air in a better way? That's what I would have looked at if I was a producer or if I was Vince McMahon or, or Bruce. Knowing him, he never gets anything right because he's a fucking clown. But they got it right tonight. That was the right main event. Now, how did they come to this decision? Apparently, Clash of Champions and the main event was decided by backstage politics. Of course it was. Ringside News learned before the pay-per-view that WWE, going into the weekend, hasn't even started fleshing out the match order for Clash of Champions. This is a process that obviously went into the early afternoon on Sunday. There is a reason to believe that going into the show, there was not going to be a main event with Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. Now, a member of the writing team told Ringside News that Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton going in was an incredible, strong contender to go on last. It is going to be a gimmick match with ambulances, stunts, run-ins, overbooking, etc. Now, with that being said, Paul Heyman has a way of making people see his point when it comes to how his clients are booked. Brock Lesnar was always notoriously booked very strong and very politically. He opened WrestleMania 35 because he wasn't in the main event and didn't want to wait if he was not closing the show. Now, if Roman Reigns and Jey Uso did end up going last, which it did, there was probably going to be some backstage politicking to get that match on last. Heyman has yet, going into the show, has yet to address the positioning at this time, and as WWE, they hadn't had a match lineup yet going into the show, so I'm assuming with Paul Heyman politicking backstage, he actually won over everything else and won over everybody else to get that match on last. And I'm sure Roman Reigns had a lot to say about that as well. And they made the right decision. So if you're wondering why this match went on last instead of the WWE Championship match, because that was an ambulance match, and that feud has been going on for much longer than Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, just know that Paul Heyman probably had his reason to go to Vince or go to anybody else in charge and say, this is how it needs to be. And they got it right. So it's backstage politicking as far as why that match went on last. Hoot Media. My analyst, Hoot Media in the chat. What's going on? Are we number one? We got 2,000 large in the chat right now. Hit that thumbs up. We got 429 likes. Let's get it up there, man. We are live. This is Off the Script. This is Clash of Champions and your post show. Man, you're number one by over 100 people tonight. Yes, man. Hoot Media does a fantastic job. We are number one as always. This is my realm, geeks. Nobody does it better. Let's start with the pre-show, man. Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura versus the Lucha House Party. Smackdown Tag Team titles. Now, I don't want to rant. I don't want to sound like a broken record here, man. But the Tag Team Championships in WWE, they need serious rehabilitation. It needs to be addressed immediately. Now, WWE announced a draft for October 9th and October 12th. I'm telling you right now, I know for a fact somebody's watching this that has some sort of positioning in WWE. I want you to take what I'm about to tell you, and I want you to take it to the proper people. You got a draft coming up on October 9th. And then on Monday Night Raw on October 12th. Okay? You got how many tag teams in this division that are legitimate tag teams? There's no division on Monday Night Raw. There's no division on Friday Night SmackDown. This is what you need to do. If there's one thing that comes out of this draft, I don't give a shit about anything else. The tag team titles need to be unified. I don't give a fuck about anything else. I am tired of the same matches. I am tired of tag teams wrestling in singles capacity against other tag teams wrestling in singles capacity because you have no other tag teams to put tag teams against. I'm tired of the Street Profits being the longest reigning Monday Night Raw tag team champions, and they have Angel Garza and Andrade as their only opponent since WrestleMania 36. How does that make them look good as far as tag team champions go? It doesn't. So something needs to be done. Now, as far as this match goes, I mean, no matter how talented the Lucha House Party are, no matter how talented Gran Metalik and Lince Dorado and Kalisto looks fucking amazing, no matter how good they look, and no matter how good they are, who is going to look at these guys and take them as serious contenders in the tag team division? I don't get it. I really don't understand it. WWE's been teasing their breakup. WWE's been teasing Kalisto getting frustrated. So I don't know what's happening with him. I don't know what's happening with the group. I don't know what's happening with the tag team championships. I assume, or I would like to assume, that Cesaro and Nakamura are going to move on to Heavy Machinery. Because legitimately, they are the only other babyface tag team on SmackDown. But this goes to show you that WWE has no plans for the tag team titles. Now, in fact, never mind the Lucha House Party, this match should have been a unification match. This match should have been Cesaro and Nakamura versus the Street Profits in a unification match for the WWE Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Championships. They didn't do that. I want to hope that there is plans to do that eventually, but WWE needs to do something ASAP. We cannot continue to have these types of tag team matches be irrelevant. Something needs to be done. And I hope the draft on October 9th and October 12th rectifies that. Now, this was a very good match. Cesaro and Nakamura and the Lucha House Party, all just great in-ring performers. They really are. It was a very good match, but honestly, at the end of this thing, why does it even matter? The one question everybody should be asking themselves is, if Cesaro and Nakamura won, or the Lucha House Party won, what's next? You got nobody else lined up? Cesaro and Nakamura made the most sense because there is a team in Heavy Machinery that's waiting. That's it. They're a solid tag team. They're a great duo. And Heavy Machinery is a tag team that I would like to see break out and get some fucking shine in the tag team division. That's it. Other than that, where do these teams go? So that was the one question I was asking going into this thing. Now, the match itself was good, like I said. Cesaro was in control early in the match. Dorado and Kalisto worked together to take over on the heels. Kalisto hit a splash off of Dorado's shoulders for a near fall. Cesaro regained control again, but Dorado hit a missile dropkick. Nakamura then took control over Dorado with a kick to the head, which knocked him to the floor. So then you got Nakamura and Cesaro isolating Dorado on their side of the ring, which they did for quite a while. Cesaro slowed the pace down. Dorado briefly fought back, hit a sunset bomb for a near fall. Cesaro then regained control for his team right away with some kicks to the head. Nakamura missed a running knee in the corner. Dorado fought out, hit a flying crossbody. Cesaro got the tag and knocked Kalisto off the apron. So they stopped the hot tag from Dorado to Kalisto. So the heels took back over and remained in control. They beat down Dorado. Dorado then again fought back, started to make a babyface comeback, and finally got the hot tag to Kalisto. He had a springboard flying crossbody and a tilt-a-whirl DDT on Cesaro, which looked great. Dorado attempted a handspring stunner, but Nakamura blocked the move. Dorado slipped out the back and hit a backstabber instead. In a very nice spot, Kalisto attempted a tornado DDT on Cesaro on the floor. Cesaro stopped the momentum of the move, but Dorado hit a dive and almost finished the move for Kalisto. He ended up hitting the tornado DDT anyway with some assistance from Lince Dorado off the dive. Kalisto hit 3 moonsaults off each turnbuckle, one on the bottom turnbuckle, middle turnbuckle, top turnbuckle, and got a near fall on Cesaro. Nakamura yanked Dorado off the apron, took him out with the suplex on the floor. And we fast forward to the finish here. Cesaro gave Kalisto a Cesaro swing, and that swing right into a Kinshasa for the win by Nakamura and the heels. Nakamura and Cesaro retain the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Very good match. It's just a case of where do they go next? It's not terribly exciting. WWE had the exciting option of doing a unification match here and really making some meaning in the tag team division, and they've opted not to do that. Like I said, we got the draft on October 9th and October 12th. Hopefully WWE rectifies this, because there's got to be somebody in that company that realizes that there's no need for 2 tag team championships when you have absolutely desolate and barren tag team divisions on both Monday and Friday night. It's an absolute waste. It's an embarrassment. And I don't know how anybody looks at AEW's tag team division and realizes, hey, man, maybe we should be doing something like that and bringing some prominence and relevancy and importance to the tag team championships. And meanwhile, in our company, there's no teams on Monday Night Raw, and there's 2 teams on SmackDown. Something's got to be done. Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, and Jeff Hardy. This is for the Intercontinental Championship. I mentioned this on Friday Night SmackDown. Sami Zayn is absolutely fantastic at what he does. He's one of the best heels in all of WWE. And I don't like being right all the time, man. I really don't. I want to be wrong sometimes. It keeps me on my toes. But when Sami Zayn turned heel, and the same thing happened with Bayley. I didn't really think Bayley was going to hit a home run with this heel run. And she settled into the role, and she became fucking amazing at what she does. Sami Zayn, the same thing. I didn't think Sami Zayn, after being the heart and soul of NXT, was going to be a good heel. And man, oh man, as he went on in that heel role, he became one of the most entertaining and consistent acts on WWE television, to where we see him now, man. He is one of the very few bright spots on Friday night. And I said, AJ Styles, he's a world-class athlete. Guy can win a championship and nobody would bat an eye. Everybody's going to say, man, that's a right decision because it's AJ Styles. He's one of the best in the world. But I didn't think AJ was going to win this thing, because there are rumors that he is going to get drafted back to Monday Night Raw in the draft. Now, Jeff Hardy, there is situations happening with Jeff Hardy. He's got court dates coming up from whatever happened to him last year. Those court dates were suspended because of COVID. Nobody knows the outcomes of those court dates or what the judge is going to rule as far as Jeff Hardy goes. So is WWE going to give Jeff Hardy a Intercontinental Championship win tonight when they don't know what's going to happen as far as his court dates go? So WWE might not want to invest in somebody that right now is just one big question mark. Then you got Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, who everybody knows was wrongfully stripped of the Intercontinental Championship. He stayed home. AJ Styles actually made a mention on his last Twitch stream, I believe, that Sami Zayn's wife might have been pregnant and she gave birth in the 4 months that he was out. And that's the reason why he stayed home. I don't know if there's any legitimacy behind that. I don't want to go on here and report something like that, but that's what he said. I don't know if that's the case. But if it is the case, that even makes WWE look even shittier than they already do, because everybody assumed that Sami Zayn was stripped because he wanted to stay home and do the right thing, because WWE was having just terrible situations happen with COVID. They had no practices, they had no regulations in place, and he didn't want to come to work. So he stayed home, he opted to stay home, he wanted to do the right thing for himself and his family, and they stripped him of the championship because WWE continued to produce television, and they needed the Intercontinental Championship on television. And if he didn't want to show up, they were going to strip him. And that's exactly what they did. They did a tournament. Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles gave us one of the best matches of the year in WWE for the Intercontinental Championship. AJ Styles won the title. Jeff Hardy beat AJ on a recent edition of Smackdown. And now here we are. Sami Zayn's back on television. He comes back claiming that he is the rightful Intercontinental Champion. We're playing off the 1993-1994 Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon feud going into WrestleMania 10 in their historic ladder match. It made sense. It made sense. No matter who it was going to be with. If it was going to be AJ Styles or Jeff Hardy or Daniel Bryan, who we haven't seen on television. It was going to make sense for Sami Zayn to come back with the Intercontinental Championship because he's never lost the title. This is what brings us to tonight. This triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. One of the best matches that WWE has given us all year up until this point. I'm not a big fan of ladder matches because WWE's ladder matches have all been the same. There's nothing exciting about them. There really isn't. In the pandemic era with no fans, they don't really generate as much excitement, obviously, for obvious reasons. But holy shit, man, did these three guys go out there and absolutely kill themselves. Jeff Hardy looked great, AJ Styles looked great, and Sami Zayn looked like a fucking genius tonight. If you thought Sami Zayn was a good heel then, after this match, man, he's not only a good heel, but he's a fucking smart heel. And that's the type of heel that I will never boo, because he's just so damn good at what he does. This was great. Absolutely fantastic ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, there were a large number of ladders around the ringside area, the ramp and the stage, and with everybody that came down in this match, all three guys got clips as to why they are very skilled in ladder matches. Obviously, Jeff Hardy is the master of ladder matches. AJ Styles, they showed clips of him in the Money in the Bank ladder match from this year on top of Titan Tower. Sami Zayn, they showed something back from 2017, I believe, where he sunset flipped, powerbombed Dolph Ziggler off a ladder. Whatever the case may be, man, even in highlights, even in replays, Dolph Ziggler looks like a fucking loser. But they showed highlights for everybody in the ladder match, which was a nice touch to kind of get everybody excited about their background in this match. Hardy had the early advantage after hitting a Bulldog clothesline combo on Styles and Zayn. He tried bringing in a ladder, but Styles drop-kicked the ladder into Hardy. Zayn then hit a moonsault off the ropes onto Styles. Everybody wants to say Sami Zayn's not good, man. Sami Zayn is one of the best wrestlers in the world. I loved him in NXT, and he's still just as good right now. I don't know how you can put him on television and not find a priority role for Sami Zayn. Honestly. Zayn beat down both Hardy and Styles with a ladder. He attempted to set up the ladder. Hardy cut him off. Hardy then backdropped Zayn onto a ladder, leaning against the ropes, which looked like it sucked. The ladder ended up standing upside down. Hardy jumped off the second turnbuckle, and the little strips that fold up when you fold the ladder, those little metal strips, those skinny little metal strips in between the ladder on both sides. Unbelievable, man. The ladder was upside down, and Hardy jumped off the second turnbuckle. Styles moved, and Hardy crashed through the ladder, man. I thought he had cut himself. Now, if that was a real ladder, this I'm sure sucked still with WWE staged ladders. But if that was a real ladder, man, and he fell on that portion of the ladder like he did on a real ladder, he could have broken a rib. He could have cut himself. He could have just done massive damage to himself. So just the visual of him falling on that portion of the ladder, that looked like it fucking sucked even still. So that was a cringe-like moment in a good way, because it added to the match and the intensity of the match. Styles tossed Zayn into a ladder in the corner. Zayn bounced off. Styles brought in a second ladder, set it up. He started to climb, but Zayn pulled him down. Styles fought back and rocked Zayn with a Pele kick. Styles and Hardy fought on the top of the ladder. Styles knocked Hardy off the top. Hardy then recovered instantly. Instantly. So Styles knocked Hardy off the ladder, and he no-sold being knocked off the ladder. And I don't know why. Now, I don't know if it was just a shot of adrenaline. He just got knocked off the ladder. Any normal human being would have sold for a couple of minutes at least, being knocked off the ladder, but he got right back up like he was impervious to pain. I didn't really understand that. So Hardy recovered, yanked down Styles. Zayn jumped back in the ring and tossed Hardy out. He climbed up the ladder. Styles was preventing him from climbing even further. Zayn fought back and gave Styles the exploder suplex onto the ladder in the corner. That looked like it sucked. Zayn climbed the ladder, but Hardy stopped him. Now, all three competitors ended up rolling around ringside after some tussle with climbing the ladder inside the ring. Hardy jumped off the steps and hit Styles he jumped off the steps and hit Styles into the barricade. Zayn recovered and hit a haluva kick on Jeff Hardy that flipped him over the barricade. He jumped back in the ring and started climbing up. Suddenly, Styles threw what looked to be a small hornswoggle-like ladder into the ring. I don't know where he got this thing from, but he threw a small ladder at Zayn, and Zayn was climbing up. The ladder nailed Zayn, and Zayn fell hard on the mat, started grabbing his hand as if the ladder kind of crushed his hand when Styles threw it into the ring. So Hardy and Styles both climbed up the ladder. They traded hard shots at the top of the ladder. The ladder tipped over, and Hardy and Styles crashed down hard below. The ladder landed right in front of Sami Zayn. Zayn climbed up the ladder, but Hardy grabbed his legs. Styles attempted the phenomenal forearm, but Hardy hit Styles with the ladder mid-move. Awesome spot. Zayn tried climbing up again, but Hardy pulled him down and hit a twist of fate. Hardy ended up upside down on the ladder as Zayn tipped it over. I don't know how this was on your end with you guys watching, but it looked like, to me, Hardy could have fucking killed himself. I don't know what you thought of this, but he was legitimately climbing down the ladder. He was like hugging the ladder. He was literally upside down on the ladder, going this way instead of going this way. The ladder was tilted. Hardy ended up upside down on the ladder as Zayn tipped it over. Now, I don't know what the fuck they were trying to do here, but Hardy fell to the floor as Zayn tipped the ladder over the ropes, and Hardy got fucking just tied up in every aspect of the ladder on the way down. I don't know how he wasn't hurt during that, but it looked like it fucking sucked. More so than the first spot that Hardy had done when AJ Styles moved and he hit those little metal beams on the ladder. Fucking sucked, man. It looked very dangerous. Zayn and Styles fought around ringside. Zayn set up the ladder as a bridge between the apron and the commentary desk. Styles hit a moonsault into the reverse DDT on the floor off the announce table, which looked like, again, it fucking sucked. Everything about this match fucking sucked as far as them taking punishment, man. Everybody is just beat up and bruised and cut up in this match, and rightfully so because it was a ladder match. Styles plays Zayn on the ladder bridge. He climbed up the ladder in the ring, but Hardy punched the ladder over, and Zayn regained control and beat Styles down along with Hardy. Zayn then went back to his jacket and pulled out handcuffs. Zayn handcuffed Hardy through the piercing of his ear. He then tried to handcuff Styles to the ropes. He fought back. Styles sent Zayn headfirst into the ladder. So the finish came when Styles gave Zayn a suplex. Zayn handcuffed himself to Styles. Styles tried to climb up by dragging Zayn. So he put Sami Zayn on his shoulders because he was handcuffed. Sami Zayn handcuffed himself to AJ Styles. Hardy jumped back in the ring with the fucking ladder handcuffed to his earlobe. So he was carrying this ladder into the ring. He had handcuffs through his fucking earlobe thanks to Sami Zayn. So, of course, Sami Zayn had the key in his mouth. This fucking geek had the key to the handcuffs in his mouth the entire time. He slipped out and he handcuffed Styles to the ladder. Zayn then climbed up the ladder and eventually pulled down both titles to win the match. And Sami Zayn is the rightful Intercontinental Champion. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable, man. Some crazy fucking spots in this match, which primarily went to Jeff Hardy. He had that spot where he jumped off the second turnbuckle and hit the upside down portion of the ladder. He did a swanton, which I forgot to write down because I was so invested in this fucking match. He hit a swanton bomb on Sami Zayn, who was laid out on the ladder bridge. He climbed up top to the top of this huge fucking ladder and did a swanton bomb through Sami Zayn and through the ladder. The fucking shattering of the ladder sounded so great when Jeff Hardy came down. And then Sami Zayn with his antics, man, by handcuffing the ladder to Jeff Hardy's earlobe, and then him handcuffing himself to AJ Styles, forcing AJ to climb up with Sami Zayn, and him eventually unlocking himself with the key in his mouth. He slipped through. He handcuffed Styles to the ladder. Hardy was just incapacitated at this point because he had the fucking ladder handcuffed to his earlobe. And Sami Zayn won because he was smarter than the others. And you know what? Everything was legal. Everything was legitimately legal. And Sami Zayn, and I should say this, rightfully wins and now is the true Intercontinental Champion. The finish was great. After the match, Caleb Braxton asked Sami Zayn how it felt to win the Intercontinental title back. Sami Zayn noted that he never lost the championship, and then he said, and still WWE Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn. Excellent match. If you guys missed any portion of that, I urge you to go and find it on the WWE Network and go and watch it, man. You'll have a newfound respect for Sami Zayn. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. And no question about it, the right match to open Clash of Champions. Where they go from here, I don't know, man. I really don't know. With the draft coming up, you can really have a nice group of opponents for Sami Zayn. I'm done with the AJ Styles thing. I'm done with the Jeff Hardy thing. I think Jeff Hardy's going to go away for a little bit. I think AJ is definitely, with the rumors, going to get drafted to Monday Night Raw. Man, if you want to move Ali over to SmackDown, if you guys want to move Ricochet over to SmackDown, you want to move, I don't know, Apollo over to SmackDown, get them away from the fucking Hurt Business. Somebody over there, man. I mean, Ricochet and Ali are number 1 and 2 in my eyes. Man, oh man, what a fucking Intercontinental Championship program that would be. Ali versus Zayn or Ricochet versus Zayn for the IC title. Sami Zayn has a nice group of opponents. And I don't know why WWE doesn't really invest in the Intercontinental Championship like they used to do. I feel like it's an afterthought on television. It really shouldn't be. It is the second biggest championship in the company. And WWE doesn't know what they possess with the mid-card as far as that secondary division goes on WWE television, man. They got some of the best performers in the world. How are you booking a mediocre Intercontinental and United States Championship program on both shows with the amount of talent you have on Raw and SmackDown? It's just bizarre to me. So no matter what, Sami Zayn has opponents lined up for him because I don't think Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles are going to do much of anything now moving forward. At this point, I don't even know who else is on Friday night, for Sami Zayn, unless Daniel Bryan comes back. And I wouldn't even have Daniel Bryan come back because Daniel Bryan should come back and be thrusted into the WWE Universal Championship picture with Roman Reigns, as I think that would be a phenomenal program on SmackDown. So we'll see what happens, man. Sami Zayn is still the Intercontinental Champion, and it was a great ladder match to open Clash of Champions. Zelina Vega versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. I was definitely in the camp of not having this match happen at all. I was not very keen on Zelina Vega getting a Women's Championship match. Now, Asuka won. Asuka won the match, and rightfully so, because Zelina Vega was never put in a position to beat Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. The match itself was fine. All right, I'm going to even offer Zelina Vega a slight apology. I never said the woman can't wrestle. I just don't think she is very good when you look at what WWE has done with Asuka, and I don't think Zelina Vega was the right choice as far as projecting Asuka up after winning the championship from Sasha Banks. And I think everybody's in agreement with that. Zelina Vega is fine. So I'm going to offer myself, up as far as, you know what, I was wrong. I was wrong. The woman can wrestle. I knew the woman can wrestle. The woman can talk. But she's a manager. She does better managing than she does wrestling. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's really nothing wrong with that. But I find it very difficult to watch this show and sit there and digest WWE's illogical bullshit for Zelina Vega to get a championship match when I know she hasn't won one match all year. Knowing that she's not in any credible situation to stand toe-to-toe legitimately with Asuka. They've done nothing. So I have every right to fucking complain because WWE Creative sucks. They suck. The match was fine. I have no problem with the match. The match went the limit that it should have went. It went about 5-6 minutes. I know I gave Vega slack for not being there, and yes, she should not be there in this championship match. She's not a legit competition or a legit competitor for Asuka after being a manager for all of her main roster run. She hit her spots in this match very well. She executed a beautiful finishing sequence in the match with Asuka right before Asuka transitioned into the Asuka lock. But at the end of the night, folks, she isn't legit competition for Asuka or anybody. She's not. She'd have to win match after match after match after match. And WWE just didn't book her in that way. And I know you agree with me. Now, she hit her spots. But man, oh man, the one thing I will say about this match, and this is exactly why I don't think this match should have even been booked, it was overly choreographed to a point where Asuka, in most of this match that went 5 or 6 minutes, was standing around waiting for Zelina Vega to do whatever she was going to do next. Overly choreographed. It was slowed down to a pace, basically, to appease Vega and the fact that she just cannot hang with Asuka. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with Vega and admitting to everybody that Vega cannot hang with Asuka. How many women could hang with Asuka? Not many. So you're in quite the camp there, Miss Vega. Win a match or 7, and then maybe I'll have a different outlook on it. I don't know where that comes from, but it was choreographed. It was choreographed, slowed down, Now, I think everybody that watched that felt it. They saw it. Asuka needs legit competition, right? Now, I don't know where anybody, as far as booking Asuka, I don't know where competition comes from, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know where any competition for Asuka comes from at this point. WWE has nobody else but Bianca Belair at this point. And if they do Bianca Belair, they probably are going to be setting Bianca Belair up for failure. Because, A, she's ready, but is she ready to take the title off of Asuka? Are you ready to book her in a situation to take that championship off of Asuka? For some people, they may be ready for that match. For some people, it may be too soon. So you got to watch what you do very carefully. You could put her in this feud with Asuka coming out of Clash of Champions, but if you do, she's going to have to win because going into a championship program, she can't lose to Asuka. And as far as her being a champion, it also works negatively against Asuka too. Yes, Bianca Belair deserves to be a women's champion, but you can't just take the title off of Asuka. You'd be doing the same fucking thing that you did with her first title run on Monday Night Raw when Becky Lynch gave her the championship. So that would make 2 runs this year that WWE gave Asuka and they've done nothing with. So it's a lose-lose situation. All I'm saying is find some legit competition for Asuka and build up to that match because that may be the match that serves this entire division right. Bianca Belair and Asuka is a WrestleMania-worthy match for the Women's Championship. I don't know why you wouldn't explore that. Maybe they are. Maybe they have ideas about doing that potentially later on in the year. But you can't do it right now. If Bianca Belair was on TV winning matches, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But you just can't take Bianca Belair after being absent off TV for 4 months and throw her into a title program with Asuka because you have nobody else right now. How fair is that? How fair is that to Bianca? How fair is that to Asuka? It's not. Do better. The division sucks. Flat out, the women's division sucks on Monday Night Raw. And it's even worse on Smackdown. Look at WWE programming. They got Asuka, they got Bayley, and they got Sasha. That's it. They got others. But as far as what you're seeing on TV and who's being booked properly and strong, they only got 3 women that they trust. Everybody else, forget about it, man. They got a permanent seat in catering. Zelina Vega ain't it. It was a fun match for what it was, but man, oh man, they slowed it down because they had to show Vega as far as her standing toe-to-toe with Asuka. I don't like it. No woman should stand toe-to-toe with Asuka and survive. Asuka was in control early in the match. She mocked Vega, took her down. Vega fought back, worked over the arm. Asuka quickly regained control with a headlock. Vega fought out and attempted an arm drag. Asuka blocked and attempted an arm bar, but Vega made it to the ropes. Vega tried to attack Asuka's arm. So Vega tried to go for Asuka's arm because of the Asuka lock. So that's the story there. But she sent her to the apron. Asuka followed up with a hip attack, sending Vega to the floor. Vega sent Asuka shoulder first into the steps to take over. Vega slowed the pace, like I said. Slowed the pace down, went back to the arm. Asuka went for the Asuka lock, but Vega rolled through and went for an arm bar. Asuka escaped and went for the Asuka lock, but Vega, like I said, rolled through. She had a hurricanrana, double knees in the corner for a near fall. She followed up with a backstabber and a kick to the face for another near fall. And this was the best part of the match right here, the ending sequence. Asuka attempted the Asuka lock. Vega rolled through for a close near fall. Asuka kicked out and then reapplied the Asuka lock for the win. Very nice transition there by Vega to Asuka for the Asuka lock. And Asuka taps out Vega quickly for the win. After the match, Charlie Caruso interviewed Asuka in the ring. She said Vega is like a firecracker. Vega was put over big time by Asuka. Why? I don't know. I don't know. It was a fine match, but for Clash of Champions, I'm sorry. Vega teased, shaking Asuka's hand. Asuka put out her hands as far as a sign of respect. Asuka then was attacked by Vega, and Vega beat her down and then quickly left the ring. Asuka took the microphone away from Charlie Caruso and started yelling in Japanese at Vega, so we may be looking at a feud that is not over yet. And I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. Because WWE has nobody else, folks. They have nobody else. Look at Monday Night Raw. Who else is left for Asuka? Never mind who's ready for Asuka. Who's left for Asuka? Nobody. Nobody. Like I said, Bianca Belair is the only one. Look at that women's division, man. Shayna and Nia are tag team champions. Ruby Riott should be challenging for the women's championship. She's in a fucking tag team with Liv Morgan, right? So you got the Riott Squad, you got Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, you got Natalya. I'd rather watch fucking paint dry than watch Natalya get another championship match. Lana, don't get me fucking started, man. Put her through another fucking table tomorrow night. Nobody gives a shit. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, they may be setting up for Peyton Royce after what we seen on Monday Night Raw, but my God, that match was fucking terrible. And Zelina Vega. So clearly they did what they did at the end of this match because they have nobody else in line. Creative's like, hey man, we're out of options. We don't know what to do, so we'll just run this one back. We'll do the post-match attack, run it back on Monday, and continue the feud going into Hell in a Cell. Asuka deserves better. I'm sorry. Moving on. What is going on, guys, in the chat? 2100. 2155 in the chat, man. Hoot Media! Talk to me, bro. Are we still number one in the IWC, man? Is Off the Script still number one tonight? Thank you guys so much for joining me. Please hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you guys for joining me here on the post show for Off the Script. Jesse in the chat says Asuka is keeping the Queen's title warm. Bro, please, please. Why do you have to fucking make me or put me in a bad mood, bro? Why? Why do we need to mention the Android Queen? You're number one by about 30, man. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Come on, guys. What are you doing? Why are you going to these other geeks in the community? Come on. Stick it with Off the Script. Anyway, man, moving on. Bobby Lashley versus Apollo Crews for the United States Championship. I don't know what you want me to say about this match, man. If you've seen Apollo Crews versus The Hurt Business, or you've seen Apollo Crews versus Bobby Lashley on any Monday Night Raw in previous weeks, you've seen nothing new here tonight. Absolutely nothing new. Now, the question that I have is, why exactly is this match happening? I don't know why this match is happening. Now, when Apollo Crews lost the United States Championship to Bobby Lashley, what exactly did he do to put himself in position to get another championship match? I don't think he's beaten anybody at all. So what exactly did WWE do to pretend that Apollo Crews was the number one contender for the United States Championship? Does anyone really know? I think I do. It's illogical, but I think I know. Now, Apollo Crews defeated Cedric Alexander on Raw this past Monday. Why? I don't know. Cedric is 2 weeks in as far as the newest member of the Hurt Business. Why exactly is he losing? I find that very bizarre, Bruce. It's not really how you get over a new fucking member in a new faction. So he defeated Cedric Alexander on Raw, who is the newest member of the Hurt Business, and WWE expects me to believe that Apollo Crews deserves another shot at the United States Championship. I don't understand it. That's all I got for you. I tried. That's all I got for you. Now, the match was fine for what it was, man. Apollo is very good. Bobby Lashley has never looked better. This is the best run that he's had since coming back to the WWE. He fits in the Hurt Business like a glove. Lashley had the early advantage and the Crews sent him to the floor. Crews followed up with a moonsault off the apron. He then hit a high crossbody on Lashley for a near fall, which looked very good. Lashley recovered and hit a flatliner for a near fall. Crews tried fighting back, but Lashley backed him into the corner. MVP on the outside with the rest of the Hurt Business mocked Crews as Lashley continued to beat him down in the corner. Crews fought back and sent Lashley into the ring post. Crews fired up and made a comeback. He was coming back against Lashley with an elbow, crossbody off the apron to the floor. Cruz then had Lashley right where he wanted him with an enziguri, a press slam, and a standing moonsault for a near fall. Very impressive by Apollo Crews. Lashley recovered, hit a superplex for a 2 count. Lashley attempted the Dominator, but Crews slipped out, hit a standing shooting star press. He followed up with a frog splash for a near fall. Lashley recovered and slammed Crews down to the mat. He then applied the Hurt Lock, the full Nelson, a.k.a. the Hurt Lock, and Apollo Crews tapped out for the win. And that's it. So, what we learned here tonight, folks, is that Apollo Crews will never get another United States Championship match, and they need to move him on from the Hurt Business as soon as the end of tonight. Done. I don't know what happens with Bobby Lashley or who he feuds with next. I don't know. I really don't. I wish I had an answer for you. Could be Kevin Owens. Could be Ricochet. Could be Ricochet for all we know. Could be Ali. WWE's done nothing with Ricochet and Ali. They were feuding with the Hurt Business, right? Maybe it's one of those guys. Could be Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens isn't doing much of anything on Monday Night Raw. Maybe it's limited Keith Lee. There were rumors that Keith Lee was, as far as the original plans go, going to be brought in to feud with the Hurt Business and feud with Bobby Lashley over the United States Championship. Now, looking back at what they've done with him, it really doesn't make sense to go from the top and go down. Normally, in somebody's fucking logical mind, you start from the bottom and work your way to the top. But Keith Lee versus Bobby Lashley might be interesting. Other than that, I don't know who else is on Monday Night Raw that would even fit into a feud with Bobby Lashley right now over the United States Championship. I don't. Maybe Humberto Carrillo. Don't make me laugh. I'm just throwing names out there, man. There really is nobody on Monday Night Raw. But all we know, I think everybody knows, Apollo Crews needs to move the fuck on from the Hurt Business. My brain is fucking hurting from watching these guys wrestle every single week. Enough is enough. It's time for a change. Bobby Lashley deserves a new opponent. The Street Profits. Speaking of fucking deserving new opponents, man. Holy shit. The Street Profits versus Angel Garza and Andrade for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Man, you gotta love it, man. You gotta love the creativity in WWE. I've never seen this match before. Is this new? Don't get me started. I got a whole fucking rant written in my notes here about this fucking shit. The match we've seen on and off since WrestleMania, man. Now, I don't know. Somebody may be out there. It may be you listening to me right now, man. I think the only people fucking interested in this thing are Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. I don't know who is genuinely interested in this feud. I don't. This match, I don't know who's interested in this match. I don't know who's interested in any 4 of these men. I really don't. And that's a shame that I say that because all 4 men are excellent. Street Profits are fucking great. Andrade is a world-class professional wrestler. And Garza. Give me a break, man. Garza's got the makings of a fucking great pro wrestler. He's got it all. Now, the Profits have major potential, but absolutely zero competition. The right outcome here, if they were running the match back, was Andrade and Garza winning. The right outcome was Andrade and Garza winning, and then showing Zelina Vega that they can do it without her, but instead we got another referee botch. From what I seen, I didn't see any fucking X being thrown up by Angel Garza. That's what people were telling me. Maybe that's the case. Really, I don't understand why WWE goes and just comes to a quick ending with these matches, especially in a tag team match. I don't get it. The Street Profits win again in a very rush fashion. I don't understand this shit. Really. So the Street Profits beat Garza and Andrade. I understand going to a quick finish if someone gets hurt. I really do. But this is not a one-on-one match. I understand going to a quick finish, but it's a tag team match. You got one guy injured on the outside, and then you got somebody healthy in the ring. Why must we call for an X or an end to the match because one guy in a tag team is hurt? Now, if this was not the right ending, why didn't you give Andrade the benefit of the doubt to win the fucking match, call an audible in the ring, and make him look good by beating the Profits 2-on-1? That's what I would have did. I don't understand why we called for the match. The referee looks like a fucking idiot. Dawkins didn't know what the fuck was going on. And Andrade was wrongfully pinned. So fucking stupid. Now we gotta see this again. That's the fucking worst thing about it. We gotta see it again. That's my opinion on it. I don't know what else you want me to say. Now, before I came to the understanding that Garza was injured, okay, before I came to that understanding, I was thinking maybe WWE gave us a fuck finish because they know no matter who wins this match, there's no other tag teams on Monday Night Raw for the Street Profits or Garza and Andrade. So maybe WWE decided to run it back again, and that is a shame. They will just not give in and admit that they have fucked up with tag team wrestling in this company. All I say, every single fucking week, I've been saying it since 2016, merge the fucking tag team divisions. For the love of fucking Jesus Christ, merge the divisions. Honestly, I am sick and tired of repeating myself. I swear to God, man, if I was in charge of this hellhole, that's the first thing I would do. Merge, not even that. I'd merge that and the women's divisions. Why must we see this again? Because Garza was hurt. Now Garza's hurt, right? Now Garza's hurt. What are we going to do now? What are we going to do now? How hurt is he? Nobody knows. Is he going to be out for a long time? Nobody knows. Is he as injured as Ivar? I don't know. But now the Profits have nobody. Nobody. Who are you going to team up? Humberto and Dominic? Who are you going to team up? Rollins and Murphy? They're not even legit tag teams. They're not even legit tag teams. You could probably team me and my fucking stuffed beaver up as a tag team. That'd be more legit than any of the tag teams you got on Monday Night Raw. Ridiculous. I would have given Andrade the win if Garza was hurt. Because isn't the whole story these guys were breaking up about 2 weeks ago? They were breaking up. They were going to do this without Zelina Vega. The whole story was them winning the tag team titles without the help of Zelina Vega because Zelina Vega walked out on them. Now they lost again. I would have called an audible no matter what. Seriously, no matter what, I would have had Andrade win the tag team titles all by himself. Because what's the point? What is the point? Now we got to get the Profits a new challenger, and there's nobody as far as new competition. Fucking ridiculous. The Profits had the early advantage here. The heels took over after Ford missed a standing dropkick. They isolated Ford on their side of the ring and cut him off from Dawkins. Andrade placed Ford on the apron, and Garza rocked him with a running knee for a near fall. Garza slowed the pace down with a side headlock. Ford fought out with a back suplex. Dawkins then got the hot tag. He ran wild. In a babyface comeback, he hit a spinning splash in the corner. Andrade hit a dropkick to regain control. He missed his signature double knees in the corner. Garza hit a massive Spanish fly for a very close near fall on Montez Ford. And it looked like he almost came down right on top of his head. It looked scary for a second, but he did make the full rotation in midair. Andrade pulled Dawkins off the apron as Ford went for the hot tag. Andrade regained control and hit the double knees on Ford for a close near fall. Dawkins got the hot tag now, and they seem to screw up the finish. Dawkins hit a powerbomb, scored a win, but Andrade kicked out of the powerbomb. Referee counted 3 and called for the bell when Andrade clearly got his shoulder up at a 2. There was some confusion. Angelo Dawkins looked pissed. He looked at the referee almost in a way as, bro, you fucked up. What the fuck is going on? Now, like I said, Garza was injured apparently. Andrade and the medical staff were checking on Garza at ringside. Nobody knows the severity of the injury. Nobody knows where the injury came from, to be quite honest with you. So I'm sure Alvarez and Meltzer will probably be talking about that on their post-show tonight. Like I said, I understand a quick finish, But to save the referee looking like a fucking idiot, and to save somebody like Andrade, who clearly kicked, everybody's seen he kicked out. They played it off as, oh, the referee was out of a vantage point. I don't understand. I understand going to a quick finish if it's a one-on-one match, but you got somebody in the ring that's fucking healthy. His partner's the one hurt. Continue the match. Book an audible. Have them win the titles. It would have made sense if they won the titles, if Garza is hurt or not. Worry about it on Monday. I don't know. Now, where do they go from here? I don't know. Nobody wants to see this match back again for a fucking 98th time on Monday night. Kayla interviewed Drew Gulak. Drew Gulak became the 24/7 champion earlier in the night. Apparently, we had R-Truth dressed in a gray beard looking like Gandalf the Grey. And he was running around with little Jimmy. He walked into the referee's lounge while they were hanging out before their job. They were eating catering. Titus provided the referees with nice catering this evening. So he lost the title to Drew Gulak, who rolled him up in this situation. Gulak ran down the hallway and escaped R-Truth. Then Kayla interviewed him a couple of segments later. He said, as a coach, he tells his students to always stay alert. He said he wasn't scheduled to compete, but he stayed. He stayed, and it paid off. Gulak said Akira Tozawa was apparently eaten by a shark last week. So Akira Tozawa was killed off television, is what Drew Gulak said. I don't know why the shark didn't eat the fucking 24/7 title when he had the chance. Not even Jaws wants to eat the 24/7 title. Honestly. Imagine that. Imagine Jaws, man. Imagine Brody on the fucking Orca had the 24/7 title, and they had the 24/7 title while Jaws was fucking chasing them all around during the movie, and all they needed was the 24/7 title to thwart the shark off through all 3 hours of that movie. Imagine that. Not even the shark wanted the 24/7 title. He wanted Tozawa, but he didn't want the title. Unreal. So I don't know what Akira Tozawa is going to do, being that he was eaten. Truth hit Gulak with a giant steel salad bowl. Yes. There was no, I don't know if there was salad in it. Maybe at one point during the evening there was salad in it, but he scored the pin. He yelled, "You could have had a V8." Cole said that's one of the shortest reigns in WWE 24/7 title history. I don't know who is watching these shows and is still entertained by the 24/7 title garbage. Get it off television. Seriously. Get it off television. Moving on here, man. Thank you guys for sticking with me. 2242 in the chat. Love you guys. Make sure to check out my sponsor, Harry's. Harry's.com/script, man. Go and get your trial set today. New sharpest razors ever, man. I've been using Harry's for 4 years. Go and get your razors, man. I'm telling you. All you gotta do is sign up. If 2 fucking people in this chat sign up, you're doing me good. Harry's.com/script. You're gonna get a new sharpest ever razor, razor handle, shave gel with aloe, and a travel cover to keep your razor dry and easy on the go, man. All you gotta do is pay the shipping and handling. Go to Harry's.com/script to get your trial set today. And I want to thank them for always being here and being a great partner on Off the Script. Bayley versus Asuka for the Smackdown Women's Championship. Yes, it was Asuka. It was Asuka challenging Bayley for the Smackdown title. Why? I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't. Nikki Cross was reportedly, like I mentioned earlier, not medically cleared for Clash of Champions tonight, which means something happened that was COVID-related, because WWE continued to book the match on Friday live on SmackDown. She was not on SmackDown, and several reports came in that WWE did not respond to any initial questions sent their way about if Nikki Cross was going to be on the show. People started to wonder. She wasn't on SmackDown. Is she going to be at Clash of Champions? And WWE didn't answer any questions. Now, the match didn't make sense anyway, and was only done because she legit is the only woman that made sense But at the same time, it didn't make any sense based on how terrible and weak the SmackDown Women's Division is. Why even bother to book the match with Asuka tonight when you know it isn't going to end well for anyone involved? I really don't get it. I know there's a geek out there in WWE watching me. I'd love for you to answer me this question, really, because I'm going to ask it very bluntly. Why do you book a match that has no clear-cut outcome? If you know the outcome fucking sucks, why bother booking the match? I don't really understand it. This could have all been avoided. All been avoided. Why even bother booking the match with Asuka when you know it isn't going to end well for anybody? Asuka just wrestled Zelina Vega, and you threw her out there for no reason but a lame finish. Knowing neither woman could lose, and you have this match end in a DQ. Bayley was cutting a promo about Nikki Cross. That was it. That's all you needed to do. At the end of the promo, have Sasha Banks come out and attack Bayley with the steel chair and have the attack on Bayley, and that was it. You didn't need Asuka. You didn't need a fucking championship match. You didn't need the bell to ring. I don't understand why this needed to happen. You could have saved us this irrelevant match and just give us the shit that actually is pertinent and important to the feud. And that is Sasha attacking Bayley. That is it. I really don't understand it. This match is an afterthought. Did not need to happen. Asuka hit a hip attack for a near fall. She attempted the Asuka lock, but Bayley made it to the ropes. Bayley recovered and hit the back suplex for a near fall. Asuka fought back, hit a code breaker on Bayley. Bayley missed a sliding dropkick, and Asuka hit her with a kick. She followed up with a German suplex on the floor. Bayley then grabbed a steel chair and hit Asuka for the DQ. At the end of the match, Sasha came out in a neck brace. She started swinging steel chairs. She started swinging kendo sticks. And she beat Bayley up in the middle of the ring, and Bayley retreated with the SmackDown Women's Championship. And that was pretty much it. Sasha Banks stood tall with the neck brace still on. So you know we're getting Hell in a Cell. You know we are getting Sasha versus Bayley inside Hell in a Cell. I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't think that Hell in a Cell should be their first match. That's the type of match that ends feuds. But this is WWE, so I'm not going to waste my breath on telling you how it is illogical. I really don't want to sit here and waste your time. Now, if we are getting this inside Hell in a Cell, I mentioned this a couple weeks in a row now on my post show for SmackDown. Sasha Banks, if this is the Hell in a Cell match, I won't even book Sasha Banks to win it. She's still got the neck brace on. She's going into this match less than 100%. I'd have Bayley go in there and absolutely tear Sasha Banks to shreds. That's it. Sasha Banks can get another championship match. Not because she is just going to come out and say, hey, I want another match with Bayley. But if Bayley goes into Hell in a Cell and shreds Sasha Banks just up and carves her up inside Hell in a Cell, Sasha can take the rest of the year off and she can come back in the Royal Rumble and win the Royal Rumble and get Bayley at WrestleMania and then win the championship. That is the only way this makes sense. Having this match be their first match in this feud. What, are you going to start inside Hell in a Cell? If it's inside Hell in a Cell, right? And Sasha's looking for revenge after what Bayley did to her, more than likely she's got to win the match, right? And what happens when Sasha wins the match inside Hell in a Cell? In my eyes, the feud's over. The feud is over. What, are you going to give me another Sasha Bayley match in November, another Sasha Bayley match in December, and then another again at the Royal Rumble? Come on. Come on. This is WWE fucking shitty booking 101. This is why these gimmick pay-per-views need to fucking die. Oh, it's October. Let's go inside Hell in a Cell. Oh, look, it's Halloween. Let's go inside Hell in a Cell. And they still got the red cells. We seen the fucking promo for it. Ridiculous. Sasha needs to lose. Because if she wins, the feud is over. That's it. That's all you do. Now, maybe WWE has plans outside of Bayley for Sasha Banks if she wins. Maybe they draft somebody to SmackDown. Maybe we get Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I don't know. I don't know what's happening here, but I'm telling you, man, if WWE wants to continue this Sasha Bayley storyline, Bayley beats the shit out of Sasha Banks. She takes the rest of the year off, wins the Royal Rumble to the shock of Bayley, and Sasha can come back healthy and target the SmackDown Women's Championship. Very simple. That's what I would do. I don't know what Bruce is going to do, but I guarantee you it's going to be the wrong decision. Sasha is back, and we're aiming towards Hell in a Cell with Bayley and Sasha for the SmackDown Women's title. Hit that thumbs up, guys. We are 941 likes. Yes, in the chat. 2,300 large in the chat. Let's get up to 1,000, guys. Super chats are open, so get them on in, man. We'll hang out at the end of the show. I'm in some mood, man, so let's hang out. Get them in, and we'll go over those super chats at the end of the show. Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. This was an ambulance match. Now, I went into this thinking, okay, we got Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton again. We got an easy out here for Drew McIntyre to lose the WWE title, put it on Randy Orton. And it's a situation where he wouldn't be pinned if he lost. That gives WWE an out. Maybe we can get Hell in a Cell next month. Drew McIntyre going in as challenger against Randy Orton. But at the end of this match, it really sealed the deal as to why Randy Orton should never even look at the WWE Championship as long as Drew McIntyre is still alive and breathing as WWE Champion. It's over. It's over. Randy Orton does not deserve any other WWE title opportunities. In fact, WWE may be moving on to Drew McIntyre and Keith Lee at the end of this. I have no idea. Keith Lee, limited Keith Lee, by the way, who was not on the show this evening. Not surprised by that whatsoever. Now, Drew McIntyre beats Randy Orton inside the ambulance match. He locks the doors, locks Orton inside the ambulance. And the story of the match here was, it was almost as if Randy Orton had the ghosts of Christmas past come and haunt him. And that's what ruined his ascent to the WWE Championship. The story was fine here. I didn't have any problem with the story. It's quite WWE-esque. It was overbooked, but it was fine. I had no problem with the story. Did this come off as overbooked? Absolutely. Did it make Randy Orton look like a fucking idiot? Absolutely. Did it guarantee Randy Orton shouldn't get another title against Drew McIntyre? Abso-fucking-lutely. But the story of Orton's ghosts of Christmas past coming back to haunt him was fine. It was fine for what it was. Now, I can do without the fucking Big Show on pay-per-view, because that's exactly what we got. I mean, imagine my reaction looking at Big Show on pay-per-view in September of 2020, cleanly shaved. We got a baby face. Big Show on television. It's great. It's exactly what I want to tune into the WWE Network for. Anyway. Now, we've seen Big Show. We've seen Christian. We've seen Ric Flair. I'm glad we didn't see Randy Orton. Oh, not Randy. Oh, yeah, we've seen Randy. I'm glad we didn't see Edge. Randy Orton, as if Drew McIntyre wrestled this fucking match by himself. I'm glad we didn't see Edge. Okay? So, we didn't see Edge tonight, but the one question I have in mind here is, with Drew McIntyre winning, who else is in legitimate contention besides Keith Lee for the WWE Championship? Are they going to, do you honestly think WWE is going to give Keith Lee the fucking WWE title? Sal Rex is texting me, are you all right? Stroke happening live or what? No, bro. I'm good. I'm good. Do you honestly see WWE giving Keith Lee the WWE Championship? There's no legit competition for Drew McIntyre now on Monday Night Raw. Or is there? Or is there? There's no legit competition for Drew McIntyre. WWE could have easily given Randy Orton the title tonight, but they opted to overbook the shit out of this match, folks. And do what? And do what? They made Hell in a Cell a priority. They did it for Hell in a Cell. They booked Randy Orton to lose because he'll come back out and claim that everybody fucked him over, and they'll book this feud for another 4 weeks, leading into Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre inside Hell in a Cell, and that's where he'll win the WWE Championship. But I have to ask why? Why? Randy Orton lost at SummerSlam. He lost at Payback. He lost at Clash of Champions. Right? WWE is going into Hell in a Cell now. Coming out of this ambulance match, it makes Randy Orton look fucking stupid. He knew what he was getting into. He knew the type of stipulation an ambulance match had. Anything goes. No matter what happened tonight, this was his last opportunity. This is it. He fucked himself over. That doesn't mean now he lost and gets another championship match because everybody else showed up and ruined his fucking night. He asked for it. He asked for the match. You can't go into a match knowing exactly what you're going to go walk into and then lose and then ask for another fucking match because you got cheated. This is the match that you wanted. This is the match that you wanted. All you had to do was come out and say, I want Drew McIntyre for the WWE title, and that is it. No ambulance match. You wanted the ambulance match. Now you got yourself a fucking idiot in Randy Orton. And by the way, Bruce, who cleared Drew McIntyre? Was Drew McIntyre cleared for this match with the jaw? Was Randy Orton cleared for his jaw? Did we get any semblance of logic as far as who cleared these men? Or if they were cleared coming out of Monday Night Raw? No? Of course not. I just overlook everything, Bruce Pritchard. So Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton going inside Hell in a Cell. When it happens on Monday Night Raw, you're going to look back at this and say, man, JD was right. And man, does Randy Orton look like a fucking geek. He should have won the title. He should have won the title. They started off trading shots at the bell. McIntyre had the early advantage as he gave Orton hard chops. Orton attempted the RKO, but McIntyre avoided it. He ended up on the apron. Orton kicked the middle rope as McIntyre tried to enter the ring. Orton set up for the punt kick, which has lost its value, being that Drew McIntyre is still here. He set up for the punt kick. And all of a sudden, somebody grabbed his leg. The camera pulled back, and right at ringside was Big Show. Big Show showed up. He pulled Orton out of the ring and gave him a chokeslam through the announce table. He then left the match. Good. Goodbye. Don't show up ever again. McIntyre was firmly in control as he dropped Orton on the barricade. McIntyre continued to beat down on Orton as he carried him towards the ambulance. He sent Orton face first into the ambulance door. McIntyre pulled out crutches, and he pulled out a steel chair from the side of the ambulance. I did not realize that ambulances now come strapped with fucking steel chairs, but this is WWE. I'm not surprised. McIntyre attacked Orton with the chair. Orton fought back with a crutch and rammed the chair into McIntyre's broken jaw. Both McIntyre and Orton ended up in the back of the ambulance. They fought out of the ambulance. Orton took over and slammed McIntyre into the side of the truck. Orton opened up the front door of the ambulance and tried to do some heinous act. McIntyre fought back with a headbutt He then attempted a Claymore kick to Drew McIntyre, but Orton moved and he kicked the door off of its hinges, clearly showing you that the ambulance door was in place with Scotch tape and Elmer's glue. Because I don't think Drew McIntyre is able to kick off a real door of an ambulance. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It looked good, though. It looked good. It came off, and it looked like a fucking toy in doing so. So, the door went off its hinges, and he ended up hurting his knee. So that was the story there for Drew McIntyre, hurting his knee in the process with the Claymore kick as Orton moved as he took the door off of its hinges. So they fought to the backstage area. Orton threw McIntyre into a wall, and then all of a sudden Christian showed up. So we got Big Show and Christian showing up. Christian showed up and attacked Orton in the back. He beat down Orton and threw him on the catering table, man. Titus had a beautiful setup tonight, man. Nice cloth over the table. Looked to be some hot coffee there in a nicely fucking, decorated coffee pot. It looked hot and piping. Fucking delicious. I love coffee. There looked to be baskets of fruit and baskets of whatever the fuck he was serving out there, man. There was dishes and paper plates and fucking utensils out there. Dana Brooke did a fabulous job in catering tonight. She wasn't on the show, but clearly she's the MVP of the backstage area for Clash of Champions. So Christian came over, and he destroyed the catering table. I don't know, man. Christian asked for ravioli tonight, and Titus served angel hair. So maybe he said, fuck the catering table. I'm going to just throw Randy Orton through the table. So Christian showed up, attacked Orton in the back. He beat down Orton and left. McIntyre then regained control, and he was chopping Orton in the chest with some hard chops. They fought back towards the ambulance. They ended up then fighting on the hood of the ambulance. Orton poked McIntyre in the eye and slammed him into the windshield. And McIntyre's back came up all bloodied. McIntyre was all cut up. They ended up brawling on top of the roof of the ambulance now. McIntyre was dangling over the edge of the ambulance. Orton stomped on his hands. McIntyre crashed to the floor. Orton was standing on the top of the ambulance, and he was staring down at McIntyre. All of a sudden, Shawn Michaels appeared on top of the ambulance, and he rocked Orton with sweet chin music, and then he pushed him to the floor. McIntyre tried to put Orton in the back of the ambulance. Orton fought out, but he hit an RKO on McIntyre on the floor. Orton shoved McIntyre into the back of the ambulance, and this alone should never net Randy Orton another WWE Championship match, man. He's got nobody to blame but himself. Never mind the fucking Big Show and Christian and Shawn Michaels ruining the match. Randy Orton should never look at the WWE title again just based off this next thing I'm about to tell you. So, we got McIntyre in the back of the ambulance after the RKO. Orton shoved McIntyre into the back of the ambulance. He tried closing the door. He got one door closed. He tried closing the second door, but McIntyre reached out of his hand, or out of the ambulance with his hand to stop the other door from closing. McIntyre then hit a Claymore kick on Orton. He then put Orton in the back of the ambulance and had the match won. Now, Randy Orton had Drew McIntyre back there first. He was taking his sweet-ass time. He closed one door. He leaned back on the ambulance. He was smiling. And then he fucking took his sweet-ass time closing the other door. Bro, you're in a WWE Championship match. I don't give a fuck what story you're telling here. I don't give a shit about anything going on. Shut the door, win the fucking match, win the goddamn title. He closes one door and then sits there for about a good 6-7 seconds and then decides to close the other door, giving this guy, this geek in the fucking truck, all the time in the world to just say, you know what? I'm just going to push this door open as he starts to close it. Fucking stupid. It's not believable. Show me a sense of urgency. Randy Orton's lack of urgency here should not result in another WWE Championship match. I'm sorry. So Orton is now in the ambulance because he got claymored. McIntyre put Orton in the back of the ambulance, had the match won. He almost made the same fucking mistake. Instead of closing the doors, McIntyre pulled Orton and hung him over the back of the ambulance door and gave him a punt kick. He then slammed the doors and won the match and retains the WWE title. After the match was over, Ric Flair showed up as the driver of the ambulance and drove off with Orton in the back. Overbooked. And all they did was give you a solid answer as to what the WWE title match is going to be at Hell in a Cell. And I'm not a fan of it. I'm not. Overbooked. Drew McIntyre wins. Randy Orton does not deserve another WWE Championship opportunity. I don't give a shit who says what. He doesn't. He doesn't. Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman versus Jey Uso for the WWE Universal Championship. This was the best match of the night. I enjoyed this more than the ladder match. I really did. Roman Reigns is doing the absolute best work of his career. I don't give a shit what he's done before. I don't give a shit what type of work he's done as a babyface solo. I don't give a shit about anything he's done in the Shield. It's easy to say, oh, Roman Reigns was better in the Shield. It's Roman Reigns as a babyface, right? Becoming the Roman Reigns character he is now. No. I'm sorry. Roman Reigns is doing the best work of his life right now. He's never looked better. And I'm telling you, man, this is exactly what should have been done 5 years ago. We wouldn't be looking at WWE embarrassing themselves with Roman Reigns if they did the right thing and turned him heel 5 years ago. And not even 5 years ago, fucking 3 years ago. They had how many opportunities to turn this guy heel? And now it's finally happening. Without fans, but it's happened. And he's never looked better. I was not for this feud with Jey Uso. I was not. I tried in every which way to tell you guys how this didn't make sense. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. And the one reason why I say I didn't get it was because, you know, you can't even blame me for it either, because a lot of people were thinking the same thing. Jey Uso as the number one contender for the WWE Universal Championship? Yeah, a lot of people said the same thing. What the fuck is what they said. WWE exposed themselves by giving Jey Uso the WWE Universal Championship opportunity because they should have other people in line as far as people being fed to Roman Reigns. They should have other people at that level where they could just constantly feed Roman Reigns for a couple of months until they want to get to that big feud, whether it's with Bray Wyatt, whether it's with Daniel Bryan or Matt Riddle or Big E, whatever the case may be. But we got Jey Uso. And as it played out, I grew more and more to like the storyline because I seen where they were going. Obviously, the family lineage was the main focus of the storyline. Jey Uso and the Usos in general are a great promo. Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman continue to develop this heel character. So there were a lot of moving parts. But at the end of the day, man, where this was friendly competition between the two and Roman Reigns was smiling, and then his attitude quickly changed week to week to week to week. Jey Uso was not really thinking much of it. When Roman Reigns gave that look on last week's Smackdown at the end of the tag team match after that street fight, and we got Roman Reigns giving that look that Jey Uso addressed, everyone was like, or Jey Uso was like, bro, what's going on with the look? You give me that look when I walk away. And that was the look that kind of sealed the fate for Jey Uso. And that's what really brought out the Uso penitentiary Jey Uso. No more this smiling, this is my Us. Roman Reigns. Universal Championship on the line. You're giving me nasty looks. You don't believe in me. All you do is look at me and think I'm the other Uso. I'm Jey Uso, motherfucker. So all of this coming into play was just a fantastic story. And then Roman Reigns beat the shit out of him on SmackDown this week on Friday, which looked great. He talked shit to him. You'll never be the head of the household. You'll never be the one to feed this family. I will always be the one to sit at the head of the dinner table in the family. The family is living comfortably based on what I do with this championship. This championship feeds my family. Yada, yada, yada. I love it. I love it. I don't know where it's going, but clearly they got a lot of people's interest. And Roman Reigns is doing the best work of his career. Jey Uso fit perfectly into this match. This match went over 20 minutes and it was booked perfectly. Some people might be thinking, JD, this match went too long. I don't think it should have went 20 minutes. They could have shaved 10 minutes off of it. It should have been a squash. No, it shouldn't have. No, it shouldn't have. Because you told the story about Jey Uso. First of all, he was never looked at as a serious threat for the Universal Championship. Then Roman Reigns brought that out of him. Roman Reigns brought that out of him. You couldn't send him in there and get squashed. They booked this match perfectly. Whoever was in charge of producing this match, whether it was Heyman, whether it was Roman, whether it was a mixture of a couple of people, they did a masterful job at booking this match. The story in the ring was fucking perfect. And I never say that about WWE television. When was the last time I said anything on this show was fucking perfect? Never. This was great. And the match ended up being exactly what it should have been. Roman dictating the pace methodically, feeling each other out in the beginning, using his heel isms in the match, talking shit to Jey Uso. Jey Uso coming back against Roman Reigns, getting that super kick, getting that Samoan drop, getting that Uso splash, giving you a glimmer of hope to beat Roman Reigns and win the Universal Championship. That's exactly what needed to be done. That's exactly what needed to be done. Now, I was hoping that we'd see a little blood in this thing. We didn't see any blood. I thought blood might have added a lot of visual to this. Clearly, they thought something else. I would have loved to see a drop of blood here and there. But they didn't go with any blood. I thought it would have enhanced everything. But they went another way. They went another way. And that was Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso came out and really added to the emotion of what was going on here, man. This was perfect. Roman Reigns came out, notably without a vest on. Now listen, Roman Reigns did say that he was going, to wrestle without a shirt, that he's got new theme music, handpicked by himself, and he's going to debut these things over time when it's right, when he sees fit, when we get this character to the peak of where it needs to be. And you know what? If Roman Reigns is saying that, I believe him. And I'm glad to see Roman Reigns without a shirt off because it feels more like he's almost becoming a complete heel at this point. Instead of wrestling with the shirt on and wrestling with a vest on, he's still got the Shield-like gear on with the pants. But the fact now that we see him shirtless with that big tattoo, that's perfect. That's all I wanted. Subtle changes here and there. He's still got the same theme music. That needs to go. I don't know what he's got picked out, but I hope to God it fits his heel persona. I really do. So he came out without a vest on, just long pants and nothing covering his tattooed chest, which looked great. So the transformation of Roman Reigns is in full effect. So Jey Uso came out with one of them things that I guess it fits his culture. What do they call it? A lei? Those Hawaiian leis around his neck. So he came out also shirtless. And Jey Uso was in the ring, and they started off very slow. Jey avoided a charge from Reigns in the corner, and then celebrated with a little dance. He was kind of getting the best of Roman Reigns a little bit, trying to psych him out. Reigns gave him a look and started to get a little angry at Jey Uso. Reigns caught Jey with a flying clothesline after a duck, and they rebounded off the ropes a minute later. Reigns started trash talking and saying Jey should just let him finish this. I told you, he said, when the referee made Reigns break a hold on Jey Uso against the ropes. So he said, actually Heyman was saying he's a little bossy, isn't he? Mentioning to the referee, because the referee was being yelled at, because the hold was broken. He said he shouldn't talk to the tribal chief like that. Reigns then slowed the match down methodically. He beat up Uso and then said he should have listened to the tribal chief. So Reigns knocked Jey to ringside. He rammed him into the ringside table. Reigns applied a headlock in the ring. Jey made a comeback a minute later, landed a Samoan drop for a 2 count. Cole said Reigns is suddenly in a bit of trouble, which we knew he wasn't, but they had to make Jey Uso a believable threat to take the Universal title off of Roman Reigns. Jey leaned into the corner, and he was getting hyped up. Reigns intercepted him with a Superman punch to the jaw. So Jey rolled to the floor as the referee began counting him out. Reigns broke up the count by going after Jey. He told the referee to not count. So the referee was really being bullied here by Roman Reigns. Back in the ring, Reigns told Jey, listen up, there are levels to this. I told you, you're trying to level up, and I live at this level, Reigns was telling Jey Uso. I loved the trash talking in this match. He says, I've been doing this. It ain't your fault. Jey fired back with some chops. Reigns brushed it off and got angrier. Punched Jey in the face, knocked him down. Reigns was continuing the trash talk, scolding Jey for not paying attention. So Jey made another comeback, another babyface comeback by Jey Uso. And he shoved Reigns shoulder first into the ring post. Jey clotheslined Reigns over the top. He then dove through the ropes and knocked Reigns into the ringside barricade. Back in the ring, Jey was now completely fired up, kicked Reigns in the head. He dove through the ropes and tackled Reigns at ringside. Both guys were down, slow to get up. Jey got up first. Jey leapt off the top rope onto Reigns with the crossbody in the ring for a very close 2 count. He super kicked Roman Reigns, and the commentary sold that he was going to win the title. He was going to beat Reigns, but Reigns kicked out of the super kick. Reigns came back a couple seconds later with a flying leg takedown, almost like he did a Rough Rider by Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder's old move. Flying leg drop by Roman Reigns. Took down Uso. So Reigns then backed away, methodically pacing around the ring. He waited for Jey to stand. He was setting up for the spear. He didn't yell like he usually does during the spear. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but Roman Reigns did not yell before he went for the spear like he usually does. He charged, and Uso made a beautiful counter to the spear. He schoolboyed Reigns for a 2 count out of the spear. He then super kicked him again, went right up to the top rope, and hit the Uso splash for a 2 9/10. They played it off on commentary that this could be the biggest miracle of all for Jey Uso if he hits the Uso splash and beats Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns kicked out of the Uso splash. He kicked out at 2 9/10. But when he kicked out, Jey had the leg hooked. And Roman Reigns, behind the referee's back, the referee did not see it, in middle of the kick out, Roman Reigns low-blowed Jey Uso as he kicked out of the Uso splash. So that gave Roman Reigns the advantage for the rest of the match. And that plays into Roman Reigns even furthering his heel character. I don't like when Reigns is blatantly doing heel shit in front of the camera, but that type of subtlety, that type of little fucking nuance right there, that's the type of heel I want to see. Knowing that he can do something like that, get away with it, and nobody's ever going to notice. Not like he did at fucking Payback, where he came back and signed the contract 90% when that match was over and won the fucking title. That's ridiculous. That's not heel. That's just fucking stupid. This kick out and the low blow on that kick out off the Uso splash was fucking great. Really, really great stuff there. So Jey got crotched, and Reigns speared Uso. Reigns then told Uso to acknowledge him as the tribal chief. Do it now, and this is done. So he wanted Uso to say he's the tribal chief, and he'll end the match. So he lifted Jey and shoved him into the ropes and then hit another spear. Reigns says he wants Jey to tell the world. He said he is the head of the table. He held Jey up right in front of the camera and told him to tell the world that he feeds them all. And then Jey Uso said, not today, Us. Not today. Heyman told Reigns, you are my tribal chief, as a way to mock Jey Uso for not saying it. Reigns says he needs Jey to acknowledge it now. That's how it works. He then mounted Jey, started punching away at him. Referee Charles Robinson was officiating this match. He came over, Robinson did, and tried to get Reigns off of Uso. Reigns then backed Charles Robinson into the corner and said, stay away. This is family business. I'm handling this now. You stay over there. So he's bullying the referee. He's bullying Charles Robinson because this is family business. This is my WWE. You understand me? Don't make me address you again. I'll knock you into next week and you won't have a job. Let me do my work. This is family business here, he says to Charles Robinson. Love it. Reigns went to Jey and landed several elbows to the head, grounding him, mounting him on the mat. Acknowledge me, he said. The ref asked Jey if he wanted to quit. Jey didn't want to quit. Reigns says he's been dominating him like this for his entire life. Jimmy Uso then runs out from the back, limps out from the back. He's supposed to be back in January or February, but he's out here now. He tried to pull Jey out of the ring as Roman Reigns was just beating down on Jey Uso. So Jey told Jimmy not to do it because he had a white towel in hand. Uso, I'm going to throw in the towel. I'm going to throw in the towel. You don't have to do this anymore. You've done enough. You proved to him. And then Jimmy was about to throw in the towel, and Jey said, no, 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 no. Reigns dragged Jey back into the ring as Jimmy was trying to drag him out of the ring. Jimmy threw in the white towel, and the referee called for the bell. Jimmy entered the ring and said, we're family, as he looked at Roman Reigns. What the hell is wrong with you? You're the fucking chief, okay? You're the chief. You're the tribal chief. Enough. You're the tribal chief, man. Just leave him alone and just chill. You're the tribal chief. Heyman entered the ring and placed a lei around Roman Reigns' neck, and the announcer, Greg Hamilton, proclaimed that he's still the Universal Champion, and that's the way the show went off the air. It wasn't as exciting as a traditional WWE big-time main event, but in typical fashion, man, the realism and the aspect of them being relatives and a play on what they've done as younger children leading up to this, and just the family aspect of it, that real-life aspect that played into this feud and into this match. Even though it wasn't a traditional WWE Championship match like you would expect, like, oh, Roman Reigns defending the title against, you know, grade A performer like a Daniel Bryan or anybody else, AJ Styles, whatever the case may be. It didn't even need to be that way. And I did not like this initially. And at the end of this, I loved it. I thought this was fucking great. I thought the story was great. I thought Jey played it fucking perfectly. I thought Jimmy coming out added just a whole nother level of just emotional shit to this match. Roman Reigns beating the shit out of Jey Uso. Jey Uso not being pinned. Jey Uso looks like a fucking savage. He looks like a beast. He didn't give up. He wasn't going to give in to Roman Reigns because he's family. He wasn't going to give in to Roman Reigns because he's the tribal chief. It had to take Jimmy to throw in the towel. He wasn't pinned. So he looks great in defeat. Roman Reigns looks like a fucking savage. His heel turn is materializing into the best thing in fucking years on WWE television, like I knew it would. Like I knew it would. He looks great. Thing is, where does Roman Reigns go from here? I don't know. Who is on SmackDown ready for Roman Reigns? Anybody that wrestles Roman Reigns right now has a fucking death sentence awaiting them. Nobody's beating this guy. And nobody should. Nobody should. But all this tribal chief, all this Roman Reigns saying that he feeds the family, he's the head of the household, the fact that he beat up Jey Uso today in front of Jimmy, what is it leading to? Is the story leading to Roman Reigns as a huge, big-time fucking heel, saying that he is the crown jewel of the family, only for The Rock to come back and teach Roman Reigns a lesson? Is that where it's leading? I don't know. I don't know how many guys are interested in that, but by the looks of it, with this family lineage being a big thing moving forward in the transition of Roman Reigns as a heel, it looks like Roman Reigns and Dwayne Johnson could be on the horizon somewhere in 2021. Because otherwise, why would he be telling everybody that he's the tribal chief, he's the one that feeds the family is being supported by him and him alone? I mean, he's the Universal Champion for Smackdown. That only goes so far. Dwayne Johnson's the biggest fucking entity in the Anoa'i family. He's Hollywood's biggest actor, highest paid actor. He's the most prominent WWE superstar of all time. You're going to get one over on The Rock? That's where we may be heading here. I thought this was a fantastic main event, man. And, you know, Roman Reigns doing his heel thing, it feels good. It feels good to finally be receptive and open to Roman Reigns, man. The same thing happened with me when I watched Hulk Hogan wrestle all through my childhood, man. I fucking hated Hulk Hogan. I hated everything that Hulk Hogan did, man. It fucking irked the shit out of me to hear Real American play after every fucking pay-per-view, knowing at an early age, I knew then, enough is enough with this fucking guy. Enough is enough. I knew then. And when he turned, and when he joined the NWO, that's the Hogan. That's the Hogan I'm going to support. Because it's different. He took a chance. And it was great. And that, to me, is the best version of Hulk Hogan ever. Now it's happening with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is never going to get to that level. He's never going to be the heel that Hulk Hogan was. He's never going to draw like Hulk Hogan. He will never do anything like Hulk Hogan did back when the NWO was at its peak. But now you see what I was talking about for 5 years. This is exactly where Roman Reigns needed to be. This could have been done earlier. This could have been done even better if WWE had all their resources. Then, fans. Now we're looking at Roman Reigns as the best thing on WWE television, and I'm damn proud to fucking say that. I really am. Same thing should have happened with John Cena. The thing with John Cena is I hated John Cena because WWE was booking him like old Hulk Hogan. But John Cena earned my respect, rather, because of hard work. As John Cena aged, for some reason when he took a secondary role and he was away from that spotlight and not the guy to close a pay-per-view and you didn't hear his music at the end of every fucking show and he didn't, reign as WWE champion anymore. That's when I gained respect for him because he was in the ring with younger talent, newer talent. He was trying to get secondary titles over. He was in a ring with AJ Styles, having some of the best matches of his career. Kevin Owens. Same thing with Kevin Owens. So I appreciated John Cena more, not because he turned heel, but because he was in a role that actually benefited everybody. But Roman Reigns, man, holy shit, what a transformation. It really is a great thing to see. He's got me blocked on social media. Roman blocked me on social media because, I would block me too if I was fucking shitting on somebody for 5 years, but it's not about the fucking character. It's not about Roman Reigns, the man. It's about how he's being booked. How would you feel if you got somebody shoved down your fucking throat for 5 years? Rinse and repeat. Give me something new. Give me something new. We're finally getting something new, and now you see my entire attitude change towards it. Now this opens up a whole new sea of possibilities. I think it's fucking great. I love it. Absolutely love it. Roman Reigns is still the Universal Champion. I don't know what happens at Hell in a Cell. I pray to God we don't get Bray Wyatt, because that's just going to be a disaster waiting to happen. Bray Wyatt is never going to win that championship. But with the look Alexa Bliss gave Roman Reigns on SmackDown, that's where we may be headed. And we may get a repeat of what happened with Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt last year inside Hell in a Cell, this year with Roman Reigns. And that is not what Bray Wyatt needs. Because he's on the brink of fucking being completely buried and dead. He's already at that point right now. We don't want to push him any further into the grave. Oh, man. What a review, man. Thank you guys so very much for joining me. We're going to go over some super chats right now. I appreciate you guys being here, man, making us the #1 show in the IWC all night, man. That's what we do right here on Off the Script. Appreciate you guys. Love you. Hit that thumbs up. We are at 1,100 likes, man. I love to see it, man. You guys are fucking great. You guys are great. Super chats are open right now. Make sure you get those super chats in. We're going to hang out and go over some super chats here live on YouTube, man. To everybody else that joined me on the live stream tonight that wanted the review only, I'll see you guys for Monday Night Raw, man. We'll be live again tomorrow night, as always. Let's see what we got here, bro. Let's see what we got over here. Gregory Benson with a $9.99 super chat. We just saw one of the best damn ladder matches in years. Sami Zayn looked incredible here, but give all three of these guys credit for busting their asses off. Absolutely. Sami Zayn is fucking great, bro. Love it. I love that he's still the Intercontinental Champion. Still is the important word there. Still the Intercontinental Champion. JP5150 with a $5 super chat, man. I got an honest review myself. The ladder match was absolutely fantastic, and the main event was exactly as I predicted. Brutal and dominant. Beginning and end is all you needed for this show. And they booked that Uso-Reigns match masterfully. I thought it was great. Jacob Donnelly with a $5 super chat. If they keep this momentum with Reigns, he may possibly be the next Cody Rhodes as my favorite storyteller in wrestling today. I still think that title goes to Cody Rhodes no matter what, man. Cody Rhodes is just amazing as far as the storytelling aspect in the ring and developing storylines because he's got that old school mentality. But Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, man, they are delivering quality shit right now. Really. Ulysses with a $5 super chat. Thank you, man. He's got two $5 super chats. Actually, he's got a couple super chats. If people still hate on Roman now, I just don't have hope for wrestling geeks. That was the only thing I enjoyed besides the ladder match. Roman's cool now. I guess guys will still hate Roman because girls will love him more because they like bad guys. Can't wait for fans back in person to see the reaction. What's the song you used at the beginning of your video, says Ulysses Smith. Guys, I swear to God, if you ask me what the fucking song is in the beginning of the video, man, it's in the description. Read! It's called The Return by Pilot. It's what I play in the beginning, and it's what I play at the end of the videos. Hopefully, Mania will be Roman versus Bryan and not Rock. Listen. Ulysses, thank you for the super chats, bro. If it's Roman versus Bryan, take my money. There's a story there. But if it's Roman versus Rock, again, take my money. Roman as this character with Heyman going promo to promo with Dwayne Johnson? Come on, man. That's money. Absolutely money. Manny P, $5 super chat. The ending of Roman versus Jey ended in the very same way AEW did for Cody versus Jericho. That ladder match was hella fun. It ended the way it needed to, bro. No matter if it was similar to Cody versus Jericho. Bradley Robinette, $2 super chat. JD, you rock, man. You're my number one pay-per-view. Was okay. You're my number one, he says. Pay-per-view was okay. I am like a pay-per-view, man. Bradley, thank you. Micah, $1.99. JD is the tribal chief of the YWC. Make a shirt. Bro, you just gave me my new Twitter handle. On Twitter. The tribal chief of the IWC. You know it. They all know it. That's why we're number one. Jamie Stewart, $1.99. UK, Randy Orton was screwed over by WWE once again. Lauren Hutton, $2 super chat. She says, cool. Cool emoji. Might as well get these out because Hoop Media is in the chat. Giving everybody a lesson on fucking currencies here. We got some big donations here, man. We got Viren with 500 rupees. It's not a 500 bomb. Hoop Media says they're rupees. $7 donation in Indian currency, man. I appreciate you, bro. Love the channel. And love the channel. Love how the channel has grown, JD and Team OTS. I've been a big fan of your work. I've got to give a shout out to Sal Rex. Your artwork and layout is top notch always. You're the real IWC tribal chief. Love what you do. Viren, thank you so much, brother. And then we got another one here. We got some Chilean currency coming in from Alejandro. We got some Chilean currency, and Hoop Media says that's $3 in Chilean pesos. Alejandro. Thank you, brother. Off the Script and the power of Off the Script, man, reaches all parts of the globe. Look, I got rupees and I got Chilean pesos in the chat, man. I'm humbled. Justin with a $9.99 and a $9.99, doubling up. Not only did WWE make Sami Zayn look like a mastermind in that ladder match, I was also happy that they made the match all about the Intercontinental Championship. Absolutely, bro. 100% agree with you. After what happened in the Roman Reigns vs. Jey Uso match, I now honestly believe that Roman Reigns vs. The Rock will happen, and I predict it'll be at WrestleMania 37. Listen, man, Reigns has been talking about fast food fans. Let the story progress. I think that's where it's going. Salrex just texted me. I'm the tribal chief, by the way, of the IWC, and Salrex says he's the tribal chief of designers. Damn fucking right, bro. And Jesse is the tribal chief of the Britt Baker fan club. I know you're in the chat, geek. I know you're in the chat there, clown. You know it's true. Watch him say, fuck you. Or whatever he's gonna say. Might give me a middle finger emoji. I don't know. Yeah, all the people now, man, that I pissed off with my Roman Reigns hate. Now they love me because I'm cheering Roman Reigns. Good, he deserves it. When it's deserved, I will tell you, folks. Moving on here, man. 64 Panned Q, $2.99. Like the vid before you goons get slapjacked. Jesse says, fuck this podcast. Bro, come on. Come on, man. You're a fucking high chief goon. I agree, 64. Like the video before you get slapjacked. You don't want to get slapjacked, man. I got listen. Shout out to my boy T-Bar. Shout out to my boy Dijakovic, bro. This guy is fucking shitting on everybody on social media. I love it. Got to a back and forth with Chris Jericho. He even shit on Eric Bischoff this weekend. T-Bar using social media like it's intended. T-Bar. Israeli with a $10 super chat, man. Hey, JD, I missed the show. I miss much. I did see on Twitter Roman new look is kind of tribal. Funny, the tribal chief has arrived, man. Hey, geeks, support JD. Is not that hard. Get the thumb up. I absolutely agree, Israel. Thank you. Appreciate you. We got Awful Grim Bones becoming a new member. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Cool Jags, $4.99. You know what? All in all, tonight wasn't a bad show. Like I said, bro, thumbs up show for me. Thumbs up show for me. There really wasn't anything bad as far as in-ring. I mean, their creative decisions are fucking terrible, but that ladder match and that main event, gave it a thumbs up show, man. The ladder match was the match of the night, and goddamn Roman Reigns is absolutely legit. Of course he is. Of course he is. Ricardo Linnell with a $10 super chat. JD, I hope you're well. I love how Roman Reigns was portrayed tonight. If he was willing to embarrass and humiliate his own cousin, I can only imagine how ruthless he'll be against future challengers. Be well. You look great, man, and he did exactly what he needed to do, and Jey Uso did what he needed to do, and the match was exactly how it was supposed to be. Joseph King with a $5 super chat. What is your honest opinion on the late Chester Bennington as frontman of the rock band Linkin Park, seeing as you are a big, huge rock fan? I will respectfully say, Joseph, I know there are people that listen to me that love Chester Bennington. I will never shit on anyone that loves Linkin Park. They were a very influential band to a lot of people. But they are not my cup of tea, bro. They were never my cup of tea. I never listened to any of their albums. I never listened to any of their songs. I never seen them live in concert. And I thought they were incredibly overrated, but that's my opinion. People think the bands I listen to are incredibly overrated. People say, JD, you love Alter Bridge, but Miles Kennedy is not as good as you make him out to be. which is complete bullshit, you know? And you guys might think that same thing about Chester Bennington. I just was never a fan. Respectfully, that's my opinion on it. Papo Jr., $2 super chat. What's up, Papo? 5 years. 5 years I asked for it. Just a wrestling mark, $4.99. I'm all for a Reigns Rock match at WrestleMania. The Rock can defeat him and do what John Cena tried to do 3 years prior. Teach Roman a lesson in respect. We may be getting that, bro. We may be getting that. Antonio with a $4.99 super chat. Can't wait for Ricochet to head to AEW. Nick Jackson on being the elite just teased it. Well, according to Ricochet, all the dirt sheets were wrong, that he's got free agency coming up, and that he's happy in WWE. Sure, Ricochet. Sure you are. Come to House of Glory. I'd love to see you in Amazing Red ripping up again, man. One of my favorite matches that I called in HOG. Can't wait to get back to work. Vince Math with a $4.99. Give me Roman destroying the entire Samoan family. Usos, Rikishi, the Wild Samoans to end with Roman versus Rock. See who the real tribal chief is at WrestleMania. Who knows, man? The whole family may be involved when all is said and done. Wellington T with a $2 super chat. What pay-per-view would you like to bring back? Great vid. King of the Ring. Absolutely no question. Phil with a $4.99 super chat. Phil's got a $4.99 super chat if I could fucking find it. Where'd you go, bro? There you are. No need for the interferences from Big Show, Christian, and Shawn Michaels, in my opinion. It devalues the win and McIntyre's title reign even further. Not really, man. You know, it devalues Randy Orton. Because Randy Orton's a fucking idiot now. He asked for the ambulance match. He got what he deserved. Now he can't ask for another championship match at Hell in a Cell. Stupid. Naima with a $3.99 UK. I got Rocky IV vibes from Roman versus Jey Uso. Indigo, $2 super chat. Hey JD, much respect. Thank you, Indigo, and thank you, Naima, for the super chats. Appreciate you guys. Phil with another $4.99. What would you like to see Roman do next at Hell in a Cell? Like you, I pray that it isn't Bray, but it looks like that's where we're going. OTS forever. I think we're going there, man. I think we're going there with just the reaction. With the reaction of Alexa Bliss. The look that Alexa Bliss gave Roman at the end of SmackDown, man. That's where we're going. We got a big fucking super chat in here, man. Holy shit. Rock this Mike with a $111 super chat, man. Holy shit. This fucking beast, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. I wish I had some sound effects for you. Man, but I'm gonna give you the Guy DeLorean. You never fuck with Guy Fieri, man. He's coming for you. Never fuck with Guy Fieri, bro. Thank you so much, man. I don't know what I did to deserve a $111 super chat, but Jesus Christ, man. Fucking beast. Thank you so much. We got Nas. Decent show. Royal Rumble is the best pay-per-view of 2020. I agree with you, bro. Thank you for the $199, brother. Jerry Small Johnson. We got a 209 Australian. He says, my mummy Nakamura and I wore sandals on our ears. It's good for you, bro. It's good for you, man. Blackbeard. $5 super chat. Out of context, but do you think Aleister Black could be leader of Retribution? No. Now, Aleister Black is already buried. You want to bury him more? Please. He's got enough fucking negative surrounding him. He's got to be in retribution. Revoked Fate with a $10 super chat. Opinion on Jeff re-signing with the WWE. Really thought he was going to switch. Listen, bro. If Jeff wants to stay, he was pretty much bound to WWE anyway with the time that they've tacked on top of his contract. So it really doesn't matter. But if he felt like he wanted to re-sign for his family's sake, nobody's going to argue that with him. I respect his decision. I think it's stupid. But I do think we see him end up in AEW regardless when all is said and done. Omni Entertainment with a $5 super chat. What's up, JD? Love when WWE has to do an audible injuries just like NXT on SmackDown. Yeah, that's when WWE has their backs against the wall, that's when they probably do their best. But tonight, man, an audible was needed in the Andrade and Garza match with the Street Profits. There's no reason why you should fucking botch an ending like that. It makes everybody involved look fucking stupid. Majin Styles with a $5 super chat. Hey, JD, just to let you know, I lost my dad a couple of days ago, and your content was the only thing cheering me up. Thank you so much. Majin, I am terribly sorry to hear that, brother. My thoughts and prayers go out to you, man. Whatever I can do here on the podcast to help aid you, I will do my best, brother. Everybody in the chat. Everybody, fucking 1,900 of you in the chat. Leave a prayer emoji for Majin Styles right now. Everybody. Thoughts and prayers go out to Majin. Thank you for the $5, brother. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. DL Bain, $4.99. Been a fan since Survivor Series 2015. Thank you so much, man. Wish you could have been reviewing way before the PG era. Keep up the good work. What's your opinion on WWE 05 to 07? That might have been the time frame, bro, where I actually stopped watching. There was a little bit where I stopped watching for about 9 months to a year. I stopped watching. Aracia, $5 Canadian. Just in my opinion, I didn't think Reigns was brutal enough. He should have slaughtered Jey and really set an example as the chief to instill fear. I think it was excellent, Aracia. I do think, though, that blood should have been shed tonight. I don't advocate for blood because I think it's a gimmick these days, but when used properly, man, does it enhance everything. I do think some blood was needed tonight, but we didn't get it. I still thought it came off very well. I will say that. Michael Reed, $10. What's up, JD? It's Lamar's. Excellent work, bro, as always. You and Jesse are the tribal chiefs of the IWC. Where do you think Robert Roode would fit in? Raw, SmackDown, or Kevin Owens versus Reigns? I don't think Robert Roode's coming back, bro. I got news on him coming on Monday. He may be looking at a situation that is more than travel restrictions from Canada. So we'll see what happens there, but I would move him back down to NXT, honestly. I really would. I think he needs a reset. I think he's way too valuable to be fucking just sitting around doing mediocre work on the main roster. Bobby Roode in NXT was absolutely fucking brilliant. And WWE had a classic heel in Bobby Roode. They fucked him up. Kevin Owens or Roman Reigns? In what way? Match? Nah, I don't care to see that. Jericho, 8131. $5 super chat. With Reigns saying he needs the belt to supply for the family, shouldn't it be Reigns preaching about the greater good and not Rollins? Makes sense. Being that Rollins has a religious character, I think that probably fits a little bit more into that. I think Roman Reigns is doing what exactly he needs to do. But I'm very interested to see where it goes, man. Honestly. And then we got Rock This Mike with the $111 bomb. Thanks again, brother. You are fucking awesome. Love you guys and love the support on the live stream tonight, man. You guys killed it. You guys killed it with the super chats. I'm about to get out of here, man. It's been a good one. Great live stream, great review. It'll be up on iTunes and Spotify and now Amazon podcasts at the end of the evening. If you guys are in the chat still, man. If you guys are in the chat still, leave me a thumbs up in the chat. I want to see thumbs up emojis up and down. If you haven't hit that thumbs up on the video, hit that thumbs up, man. We're looking at 1,220 likes right now. I'd love to get it to 1,500 before we get the hell out of here. Follow me on Twitter, man, at JD from NY206. That's on Twitter and Instagram. I'll see you guys for Monday Night Raw. I'll be live tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. If you missed any of the other videos that I've uploaded on the channel, man, ton of stuff. Off the Script went live on Saturday. Go and check that out. Over 2 hours of audio and video content. Monday Night Raw, NXT, AEW, always live every single week. Look at them thumbs up come in, man. Yeah. That's exactly what I want to see, man. Go check out the videos, bro. Mouthmasker.com/OTS for your masks. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. If you want to support on Patreon, go get your Harry shave set, man. Your trial shave set delivered right to your door. Harrys.com/script. I want to thank them for always supporting the podcast. And like I said, guys, hit that subscribe button. I'm about to get out of here, man. You know me. I'm grabbing my cold beverage. I'm getting in the... we got another super chat. $1 super chat by Christopher Elliott. Thank you so much, brother. You know me, guys. I'm grabbing my cold beverage. I'm getting in the Mustang. I'm rolling the windows down. I'm turning the music up. And you know me, man. That guitar solo's got to be fucking on blast. I'll see you guys for Monday Night Raw, man. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And I'll see you tomorrow live right here on YouTube. Turn them speakers up. I'll see you guys tomorrow.